Hi, I'm Alex and welcome to Just a Tip, episode 9. On today's episode, we're going to review last week's tips. We're going to have a look at the quarterback race, and we're also going to have a look at Sandown for this weekend. So it was a horrible carnival for those favourite backers, with only 5 favourites out of 37 getting up over the week. It was a fantastic carnival, and we're just going to have a little review of Saturday's tips. So first up, we had one that I avoided, but Aspect had a really nice win up the straight. I think that horse has a lot of potential. Then race 2, we had Hipparchus, just left his run way too late. Got out late and hit the line strong, but, finished third at a really short price, so that's unfortunate. I did get it each way during the week, but it got crunched on Saturday, so a lot of people would have missed out on that. In race 3, we had the Little Engine, who ran a little bit plain, got from the back, still had a really nice fast sectional at the end. I thought Francis Assisi was just freakish. As I said last week, how he got out to $6.50 in the Bendigo is just ridiculous. And then he drifted again. I really don't know. I took a little bite of that $5 because it was just getting stupid how that horse could drift so much. Race 4, we had Nicolance, and that was the one that I thought was going to be a moral, the one I heard along the grapevine. I didn't have the audio on, so I didn't see what exactly happened, but it got vetted before the race, and that's when you just want the horse to be scratched so you don't lose any of your money. But ended up running, was cleared to run. Didn't run that well, got back in the run, got a nice big check at 400 to go, so, just ran plain. Probably going to be a forgive out of that, but it was just, pretty yuck to be on. Man from Uncle was that one horse that I said coming down from Sydney was overs, and it was. It raced really nicely, hit the line strong, so definitely wanted to follow, especially if you like betting in Sydney, up in Randwick and Rose Hill and stuff like that. In race 5, I just left it alone, didn't have a bet in that one. Race 6, we had Alaskan Rose. Again, she hit the line strong, backing up this week, and I think she's going to be one that I'm going to keep following. It's just the type of horse that you just keep looking. She strides really well. She just got no luck on the weekend at a big price. She's still a big price in the market for this week, and I will be backing her again. Race 7, we had the United States, and I really thought this horse had a fantastic chance. The statistics backed it up and everything. It just got way too far back in the run. It ran 12:01 for the last 200, which is fantastic, but obviously too late. It looked like to me like it was going to be one of those horses that's going to be hard to beat. A lot of money came for it late. It still started, I think, about $4, so it was still very backable, but, these things happen. Awesome Rock, as I said, was overs. I had a little bit of that, 23s, so that was a nice little top up there. Coming 5th in a Cox play after running on ground that just doesn't suit, getting back on ground that did suit. Thanamuster finishes 4th, starts $3.90. This horse finished 5th in the Cox play and starts at $23 or $19 or something, whatever it SP'd at. It's just ridiculous. That is just a huge discrepancy, and they're the type of horses that you need to back. So good win there. Race 8, which is the race we're going to replay for you now, is with the quarterback race. This is the one that was on the quarterback. Got too far back. You can see that he gets squeezed up here as well. It was a good race from him, but if you look, he just gets squeezed up here, then hits the line nice and strong out wide, but just on the inferior part of the track as well. Vet's report said that he got trodden on all 3 of his legs, the back 2 and the front right, I think, and that's no good. It's not going to help a horse at all. He's going to go to the paddock now. It's going to be nice and sore for a few weeks for that one too, so definite forgive for that. Obviously, Spieth was that horse I was talking about in the autumn for the Newmarket. After that run, there's going to be absolutely no juice in it at all anymore, unfortunately. I was really hoping it was going to sneak under the radar. Just gets no run here and performs well, hits the line strong. Poor jockeying following, a no-hope chance and then another no-hope chance to try and get out. That was just poor jockeying. Spieth, the only problem is that it likes to be smothered up, likes to get a bit of cover, so it could be its downfall for its career, but it hit the line strong. I thought that our boy Malachi ran really nicely, but had the bleeding attack, so that's probably going to be the horse's retirement. Been a fantastic horse, but double bleed, and that's the second time, I think, as well, so that's basically career over in Australia. Chardell battled on well. She set up the speed early, and I'm a massive fan of this horse. Didn't want to back her in this race just because I think she's a little bit outclassed, but, back in autumn time, in a little bit lesser graded race, she'll be back in the winner's market again. And Fell Swoop, again, just her 3 starts this prep. She's 3rd, 2nd, 2nd. She's just getting very unlucky, or 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. Very unlucky. And I just think that if she keeps going around like that, that eventually we'll get a Group 1 success. Race 9, I had Ullman, and I just like the price of Lord Aspen as well. And so I had a little bit of Lord Aspen at the end of the day, and he hit the line strong. I got about $9, $9.50, opened at 14s and was overs, as I said. So, it's hard to pick those form races coming out of Adelaide, but this horse has come over to Melbourne 3 times for 3 placings, and this win, of course. So definitely want to follow when that horse is coming across. You know that it's going to be tip-top and going to be targeted at a specific race. and ran well and got us a little bit of profit at the end of the day. Now we're on to this week's tips at Sandown, and after the favourites got absolutely rolled all week, I'm assuming that a lot of favourites are going to get up here, so we're going to probably stick closer to those, the shorter ones in the market, but I'm going to multi a few together, especially Qewy, Morton's Fork, that type of thing, and you're going to get a little bit more juice out of the market, but I think those are the horses to follow, the ones that are shorter, because, the ones that have pulled up nicely from last week are going to perform well this week. So race 1, I'm going to stick away, as I usually do against these 2-year-olds. I really liked number 2, Explicitly. It does say 7 on its first start, which, it wasn't that great, but Medinity was come out and franked that form. Definitely one of those horses going to the slipper next year, and I think the 7th actually will stand up a little bit. You're getting 26 to 1, which is a little bit of overs. I just think if it gets a clear run, it could be finishing, and 26 to 1, I may have a little bite out. That's worth it at that price. And number 4, Vinland, the stable's flying, and $7.50 is a little bit of overs too. Race 2, I've landed on number 4, Redkirk Warrior. Now, it's $2.50 at the moment, and that's, juicy enough for me to have a little bit of a jump on here. It's only having its second start in Australia. Its first start was fantastic around the bend at Mooney Valley, and I thought that it was going to win. So backers ran over the top of it and has franked the form. So definitely one of those horses that you can follow in at this time. $2.50 is juice enough for me. Number 2, Royal Rapture, was the other horse that I was thinking about, but has ended up quite short in the market as well. Its foul last start was a little bit of a concern, and I think this will be its last start before it goes out for a spell. So I'm not sure if this is one too far for it, so that's why I'm going to lean to number 4, Redkirk Warrior. Race 3, I've landed on number 1, Qewy. Now, that's probably a very clear pick for most of you out there, so I'm not going to have to tell you much else than it finished 4th in the Melbourne Cup, and it's just going to a lesser grade race here. It is carrying 4 or 5 more kilos than most of the competitors in this race, but most of them are not up to its class anyway. And it's a bit of a grinding stayer anyway, so the weight isn't going to be a huge factor in the end. I think it's just class factor. As long as it pulled up alright out of the Melbourne Cup, it's going to be hard to beat. I just thought that number 8, 4 Carat, at the price was not too bad, and it's run at 2,800 last start. It was alright. It wasn't too bad. Just got pipped on the line. Form's been franked out of it. So if you're looking for something in the exotics, especially, and maybe for a place bet, you're getting $3.40 for 4 Carat, which is not too bad. And number 3, Little Engine, is in the same bracket. Didn't perform last start as I thought it would. I'm still going to give it a little bit of forgive for that. It's the sectional start up to 3,200 meters. As I said, from 26 onwards, it really starts to perform. So I just think that a place chance for those two is pretty good. So that's going to be the trifecta I'm going to play with. But definitely Qewy on top for me. Race 4 was a nice tough race to choose from this week, and I've just had a look at a few horses, and I'm going to go with number 11, Brockhoff. Its third last start was really nice. I think its condition just gave out at the end of it. It had to run wide the whole trip, and I think that second up is going to be hard to beat. Horse with a lot of talent, goes under the radar a fair bit. So Kieran Maher runner, right stable, right time of year. So I think it's going to be hard to beat. I think you're getting a $6 or $7, so each way price as well, something to have a little bite at. I thought that the favourite, number 6, O'Malley, was going to be hard to beat. The form race was fantastic, and it finally got a win last start. Number 8, Jungle Edge, has been fantastic all prep. I think this will be its last run. Will lead, so definitely one to have in your exotics because it might hold on to a place. And Vezalay, on its last prep, would definitely be the top pick for me, but this one, it just hasn't been as fresh. I'm not sure if it doesn't like the spring as much. Didn't like the straight at all last start. Was off the bit so early. Maybe 250 out was already off the bit, and finished 7th there, so didn't like that, but round the bend again is going to be harder to beat. I just thought that Brockhoff had more scope and a bit more potential, and that's why I've gone with him. Race 5, I haven't seen a race like this for a while where the market has been absolutely 100% spot on. I think that every horse here, there's not much juice anywhere. I think that every horse is at the correct price that it should be, and everything being equal, it should just go favourite, second favourite, third favourite. It just should be just equal running for everyone, and that's how it should finish. So with that in mind, I've gone with number 5, Prompt Response on top. After that, I've gone for a little bit of juice around. Petition obviously is the biggest danger. I just think that it has a lot of scope. Hasn't won this preparation, so that is a little query for me. But if you're looking for a little bit more juice, that's where I would head. I thought that number 7, Moonlites Choice, out of DKW with Yendel on board. 3 wins from 3 starts, and I just thought it hit the line really nicely its last start. Just did enough, did what it had to do, came late, and could bob up at a big price. That's the only one I really liked. It juicy, prices. I thought that was incorrect in the market. I thought Aaron Grad, following out of that form race, definitely is one to consider as well in your multiples. $13 is not too bad. Another Bullseye has landed at $14, and I thought that was basically its right price as well. Good each way chance, probably more of a place for this one. And number 4, Want to Rock, I thought was probably going to be, I thought it might have been even 50 to 1 in this one. I might have had a little bite at it at 50s, but it's come in at 26 to 1, so it's probably its right price. Also one to have in the multiples as well. Its last start was a fantastic win. Race 6, I've landed on number 1, Morton's Fork. Now this is a horse I was talking about a fortnight ago about attacking when it came to Sandown, and its last start it finished second, so hopefully with a little bit of luck it was the right choice and we're going to hit it here now. It's opened up about $2.15, so it's rock bottom price, but as I said, probably chuck it in a multiple with Qewy. I think they're the two better horses of the day, both for Godolphin. I think that both will be very hard to beat. Fantastic bet. I think number 8, Jennifer Lynn, has way more talent than I really gave it credit for. It's Colac win and it's maiden in a heavy 10 or something like that. I just thought, oh, this horse is just going to be a country cup type of horse, keeps out of the way, but has had 2 fantastic wins at huge odd prices in town, so you have to consider here. I think that number 9, Soviet Secret, has just gone up at the wrong price. 20 to 1s is overs. If you look at its last prep, it's only 0.1 of a length off of Sprite, who won the last on Saturday, and 0.8 off of Prompt Response, who I think will frank the form for us today. So if you're looking at a big blowout, number 9, Soviet Secret. Race 7, I've stuck away from this week. I think it's just, a bit of a toss-up race. There's a lot of horses coming out of the same form lines. This time last year, Who Shot the Bum won this race by like 7 lengths or something like that after an average performance in the Melbourne Cup. So it ran 5th in Melbourne Cup this year, or 6th or something like that. So fantastic lead into this. So you'd say it would be the one to beat if he goes on last year's form and obviously the Melbourne Cup form. But I just think that sticking away from it, because I'm not sure with number 8, Soci Bond, the 3-year-old, could do something, fantastic. I'm not sure if going up to this trip is the right idea for the horse. I thought maybe a shorter trip, but definitely one to consider, also with our Moonquith in there as well. So I've tried to stick away from this one because there's not a lot of juice in the market, a lot of short price runs, and a lot of uncertainty. Race 8, I've landed on number 11, Super Cash. I think that its last 2 starts have been fantastic. That 4th, its last start, was actually way better than that because it was in the wrong part of the track. So if it was on the outside, I think it would have been a lot closer to that. And when you're in 950, that's pretty good. Now, set weights and penalties, it makes it hard to beat horses like number 1, Lucky Hustler, who definitely has that form, same with Under the Louvre. I think they're the 2 horses to definitely beat, but they're both short in the market. So when you're getting 950 for Super Cash, it's fantastic. Number 4, Illustrious Lad, has ended up second pick for me because of his win last start. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. His sectionals were perfect, and I think he's going to be very hard to beat as well. Number 10, Santa Ana Lane. Just had no luck its last start. Finished 4th, got cut off. And that was behind Sabakis and Redkirk Warrior. So definitely those form lines are going to be franked. I think that with a clear running would have been close. I'm not sure if it's up to this standard of racing, especially at the weight, but maybe chuck it in the multiples and things like that. But I definitely think number 11, Super Cash, at the East race price. Race 9, I'm on number 11, Alaskan Rose. Now, I'm going to admit that I'm very biased to this horse because I really like the way that she runs, and I think that $9 price is fantastic at each way. I had a real good look at the market a second time, after when I realised that she's dropping back from 2,000 to 1,800. I don't like horses that do that. So with a little bit less of a biased view, I've landed on number 13, Cool Chap. Now I'm going to probably bet with both of these horses in the race, a bit more in Alaskan Rose, but Cool Chap will probably be my saver. $4.80 and McAvoy on board, a big tick. I thought its last start was really impressive and probably should have won. Had the splits, got away from the chairman. The chairman just ran over the top in the last 25 or so. I think that horse is going places, so definitely Cool Chap is the one to beat in this one. And I thought number 8, Toucan Chew, its second last start was good enough. It was good enough to be up there, so I definitely think it's going to be between those 3. I really hope Alaskan Rose, she deserves the win. I will be backing a fair bit on my money on that. Cool Chap is, the slightly less unbiased opinion on who should win the race, so Alaskan Rose is up there with him. And then Toucan Chew up there as well. So probably those 3 and a little box as well will look nicely on the day. Race 10, and my bet of the day is number 12, Shillelagh. I just think that I've been following it its whole prep. It's, finishing 9th or 10th. It's 2 starts back. It just got trodden on and got very unlucky. Almost fell. Its last start was last week. I had $100 each way on it. I went after it. I was definitely thinking it was going to win. It was at $11 and it came second and just got pipped on the line by Artistry. A bit of a heart attack moment, as you do. And then this time it's come up at $4.20. So I just think third up this trip, Its biggest danger is Silence Edition, who's drawn really wide, and I thought that if it drew in, it would be very close, but I think Chalet is just going to get the run of the race, and I hope with a little bit less traffic she'll get through and she'll be, best back of the day. I thought that number 10, Sweet Redemption, was just overs, coming down from Sydney. I think opened at 12-1 or something like that. Ran a nice race up there in Sydney, has come down for this, so definitely one to watch. And number 11, Dolverton, is overs as well. Its last start fourth was really impressive as well, hit the line strong. So definitely those horses to add in the multiples as well if you're looking a little bit wider, but I've gone with number 12, Shillelagh. Beautiful, and that's it for tipping this week at Sandown. Hopefully we're back a few winners. We're going to recover from that huge week with horrendous for the punters. This week I definitely think that it's going to be like a rebound week. Backing the short price favourites is going to be not too bad. So the favourite punters are going to have an absolute field day at Sandown. Hopefully there's some really good racing, good weather, and we'll back a few winners.